welcome you back to the 2000 draft at the Target Center. We just saw Darius Miles, the high schooler, chosen number 3 overall by the LA Clippers. Keep this in mind, however, Orlando has been trying feverishly to move up to the number 3 spot because they've got the 5 and the 10. They have 3 lottery picks, in fact. So trades can't be announced until after the players have been chosen. So we'll see what happens at 5 and 10 with Orlando. See if there is something might be in the works involving Darius Miles and the Clippers. That remains to be seen. Let's go to the commissioner. Chicago's up.
With the 4th pick in the 2000 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Marcus Fizer from Iowa State University.
Big 12 Player of the Year. Another early entry candidate coming out after his junior year, and he's selected by the Chicago Bulls, who have a half dozen picks in this draft.
Well, the way I look at it, Ernie, is that they're saying that they'll play him at the small forward position opposite Brand. The reason is he's 6'7", 250. He's not a great rebounder. He can low post you. Now, when you play the triangle offense, all the positions are interchangeable. This guy can score, and he can put the ball on the floor. He's got a terrific game, 15 to 18 feet. So in the triangle, when you're interchangeable, this is a solid pick for them because this guy is a proven scorer.
Number 8 scorer in the nation at nearly 23 points a game, Kenny.
He's a proven scorer, Hubie. But the thing is, a lot of these kids that's coming into the draft right now physically aren't ready. This guy is physically ready to play in the NBA. He has the body. He has everything going for him. Now, it will be interesting to see him at the small forward position because he really is a power forward in the NBA.
It's interesting that he's the strongest player in the draft, so he'll be able to oversize that position right there. But he's definitely going to have to struggle defensively, and I don't know how they're going to do that. He's going to have a lot of problems keeping people in front of him off the dribble.
Marcus Fizer, picked by the Chicago Bulls at number 4. Here's Craig.
Well, after being named the Player of the Year in the Big 12, nobody probably worked harder than you did. You actually moved to Chicago. Coincidentally, they picked you. How have you improved since the season ended?
I've improved a lot. You know, being in Chicago, working out with Tim Grover, who's one of the best in the business, you know, just gave me the perspective on how to come into the NBA and just to play hard, you know, to get ready for this point.
We showed a feature earlier about your family situation, the fact that your legal guardians, Robert, Sheila, Frazier, lost the only home you ever knew. Now that you're going to be in a position to help them financially, what are your plans?
It's great. You know, Robert and Sheila has been there for me ever since I moved with them, and they've helped me along in life ever since I moved down there at 14, 15 years old. And it's just going to be great to be able to help them and to help my biological mother and father that's in Louisiana that's with me here now.
Elton Brand went to Chicago, became co-player, Rookie of the Year. The opportunities are very immense there. Do you know Brand, and how will you fit in playing with him?
Yes, me and Elton are very close. So is me and Ron Artest. We're all classmates, and it's going to be great to be there playing with them again. I know Coach Floyd is a great coach, and I know he's going to coach us extremely hard. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Well, Coach Floyd gets his man once again in Chicago. Let's go back now to Ernie.
All right, Craig, let's go to Chicago and Mike Fratello. Mike, is this the player they wanted all along, or had they tried to move up a little bit? How did this shake out for Chicago?
Ernie, this seems like an unusual pick for me. He is more of a power forward than he is a small forward. I'm not quite sure that they're done here right now. It wouldn't surprise me to see them move Fizer on to someone else. Jerry Krause has been wearing out the phone lines trying to get a deal completed here. I think they probably would have liked to have had Miles if he was still available at that point. Keep in mind, going into this draft, when you look at Chicago's roster, you're talking about Elton Brand, Ron Artest, and Hersey Hawkins with just 1 year remaining on his contract. They needed 2 point guards. They needed 2 centers. They could have used a small forward. But Fizer is not what we would consider the prototypical small forward in the NBA. So a bit of a surprise here. Also, let's keep in mind, there's a lot of money here for free agency.
Right, and so the Chicago Bulls, who figured to be very busy on draft night, could be even getting busier now that they have selected Marcus Fizer at number 4. The Orlando Magic are on the clock. They have 3 lottery picks Doc Rivers and company nearly made the playoffs a year ago. Doc Rivers, a first-year head coach, the coach of the year. And what would draft night be without the resounding thumping of the Brady Bunch theme? And it's really the Rivers bunch. Who are they going to get? Are they going to get Grant Hill? Are they going to get Tim Duncan into that mix as free agents? Are they going to get Tracy McGrady? A lot of what-ifs going on with the Orlando Magic, and Bob Lorenz is stationed down there in Central Florida tonight. What are they talking about down there, Bob?
Well, what I was just taking a look at was whether or not this possible deal for Darius Miles is in the works. They did want to move up to 3. It didn't happen, so that right now looks doubtful. So if they keep this pick, one thing Doc Rivers said yesterday, and he jokingly said it when John Gabriel asked, Doc, what do we need? He said, we need somebody who can score. And a guy who can do that, you got two options, maybe a Chris Mim, a guy who can also rebound and block shots, and would be a nice compliment alongside a Tim Duncan. And also a local favorite would be Florida's Mike Miller. Here's a guy they brought in a couple times. They really liked him in workouts, and he definitely can score. So they might go in those two directions, one of those two directions, Ernie.
All right, thank you, Bob. On the free agent front, Peter Vesey, what's up as far as the Grant Hill, Tim Duncan scenario in Orlando?
I'm going to switch up on you because to answer Mike what he said about Fizer, you might look for Fizer to go to the Blazers because they need a power forward, and they're trying to get Jermaine O'Neal into Chicago, and Brian Grant declared his free agency today, giving up $41.6 million.
All right, Pete, and we'll get on to the Orlando situation as we go. Let's go to the Commissioner, David Stern, with Orlando's pick.
With the 5th pick in the 2000 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Mike Miller from the University of Florida.
And Bob Lorenz had mentioned that in his brief report there, that Doc Rivers liked this kid. 2 years at the University of Florida. A hero in South Dakota. And a top 5 pick in the draft.
All right, we'll take care of you.
A scout who will remain nameless had taken a look down there and said, without question, this was the guy on that Florida team.
I love this guy. He oversizes the 3 position. He's got a terrific middle game. He can take you off a dribble and off a live ball move, and he's an outstanding passer. He has the best bounce pass in college basketball to the post. Now Doc's got to get a post other than Doliak, or Doliak could be the beneficiary of that pass. But this guy really involves his teammates. He's the consummate team player, moves extraordinarily well without the ball, and sees the floor sensationally.
They call him skinny, and you kind of see why there. Kenny?
I like his game because he's the guy, if you're in the park, in the summer league, he's the first pick because he's got all the tricks. He knows how to do it, and he's 6'8" doing this stuff. Most of the guys that do the things that he can do are 6'3". He moves without the ball. He can beat you off the dribble, and he shoots a 3. Hubie, I like him.
Yeah, I see what he is. He's an excellent scorer because he can do it on the catch from 3-point range. He can run the pick and roll as well as the guard can. He can get into the paint and finish with either hand. Now, let's look at their small forward position. Yeah, I know Outlaw is a free agent, but they still have Matt Harpring, they still have Maggette, and they still have Garrity. So, you know, they have a log jam of talented people at that position.
Mike Miller's big moment came in the NCAA tournament against Butler.
5 seconds left. Dupay comes up. Dupay wheeling and dealing. Mike Miller has the ball. Miller drives down the lane, shoots it up, and it's good! And the Gators have won the game! The Gators have won the game! Oh, my! Oh, my! Mike Miller drove down the lane and made a basket as the horn sounded, and the Gators have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory as they've won the game 69-68. Oh, my!
And now this year we'll have Kevin Harlan providing those screaming highlights when you make those game-winning shots. What's it like? Teams always look for the guy who wants the ball with the game on the line. Describe the pressure.
There's a lot of pressure in it, but, you know, it's a lot of fun, too. You know, when it comes down to the end of the game, you always want the ball in your hands. If you're going to make the mistake, make it be yourself that makes the mistake. But, you know, it's just great that Coach Donovan had the confidence in me to do that.
2 years ago, you're playing in a high school gym in South Dakota surrounded with corn murals. Now you're in the world of magic in Orlando. How have you changed? How's your game improved?
I think it's improved drastically, and that's just credit to the University of Florida and the coaching staff and how much they worked for me, you know. And you just got to thank them, and you thank everybody that I played with. But, you know, and now I made a big step from South Dakota, and I'm staying in Florida, and I'm so happy. It's the best place for me.
Well, congratulations. Good luck. Let's go back to Ernie.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. 5 picks down here in the first round of the 2000 NBA draft from the Target Center. The Atlanta Hawks are on the clock. We'll be back with their pick at number 6.